President Putin's justifications for invading the Ukraine. So first of all, he alleges, and the Russian government alleges, that there were apparent atrocities or genocides, even genocides committed in the eastern part of Ukraine. Is there any truth to this?
Of course, it's not the truth. You know, we have a proverb in Ukraine that the truth is always for everyone somewhere in the middle. So as soon as you have a bigger lies, then your middle will be somewhere that everyone can more or less respect your point of view. That's what is happening with Russian propaganda and obviously with the messages of Putin. It's nothing to do with the situation that was happening there. And you know that Russia started their war in Ukraine in 2014, and they killed till the beginning of open invasion already 14,000 people. So they have to now explain themselves, and that's what they're doing with even harsher propaganda. Then with the terms of genocide, I would be very careful at all. Especially it's something that you have to take into consideration, having the history of Rwanda here. You know that this terms legally has something underneath of itself. So we see Russian occupants on our territory already for more than 8 years. We were calling to all international community to look at the atrocities that they were making since 2014. And we were appealing on different platforms of international organizations to stand with Ukraine, to bring the diplomatic solution. And I believe that if more response to this would be done before the invasion started, we would not lose so many people. You know, I haven't been approached since I am in South Africa already since 2017 by media to speak about what was happening in Ukraine, not because it was very far, but because maybe the scope of those atrocities that Russians were making was not that big. Only now, when we see these numbers, when we see unfolding humanitarian catastrophe, we are speaking about it. Just think about it. We could prevent, all of us, all together, this invasion.
So, okay, specifically, the Russian ambassador has referred to I believe, if I'm quoting him correctly, the Odessa massacre, which apparently happened on the 2nd of May 2014, where 42 Russians were pushed into a building. The building was set on fire, and this was apparently orchestrated by the Ukrainian military. Is there any truth to this?
Already the world have seen the top leadership of Russia, and obviously all the ambassadors in the world are saying the things that they are doing and accusing Ukraine in this. This will be my answer to you. And I even don't need to prove my words. The world is watching it in live stream, basically. So nothing to not to speak about. And we've seen this situation in Odessa. And it's my native city. I grew up there. And at that time I was there. Don't believe in Russian propaganda. And yes, people died because of in that time. And Russia is having its own scenario of making different provocations and accusing Ukrainians in that. By the way, that is why the evacuation of foreigners from Ukraine was very difficult, and it was very important not to allow foreigners to follow Russian propaganda and to allow them to go on those corridors that Russians were promising, because we knew for sure that provocation could occur and then Ukrainians would be blamed in this.
Okay, so the second allegation, Ambassador, is that there are some Nazi elements in the Ukraine. What is your response to that?
I think that already the Russian actions, even the use of these letters that they're using while attacking Ukraine, shows who is real Nazis. The statistics in Ukraine regarding the different organizations is opened. And I always urge to look at our democratic form of the state and to see how many political parties with different views we have in Ukraine and how many far left or far right parties you would find in the parliament, if you find one. So this is the answer.
What is the Azov regiment?
For me, it's absolute neo-Nazist sign, as for many Ukrainians today. Just a couple of days ago, one of my friends sent me a cartoon, Soviet cartoon from 1979, which shows submarine with pioneers on it. And they are reaching a big ship, which sank, and they are watching at what is written on it. And it's a letter Z. And one pioneer says to another, but this is the Nazist sign. I don't know whether this is something that forecasts their history. And you know, the same story was told sometime with Simpson. You remember when the cartoon was shown, and then later in 20 years, you've seen the story was showing up. So this letter Z means exactly this.
Okay, so it's a Nazi organization, this Azov regiment, but it doesn't have the widespread.
Not Azov, Z sign that Russians have on their tanks, on their military. Not
okay, but
as the Z that use Russia. Again, you didn't get me correct. I'm speaking about Russian way of sign of swastiks that they are showing on all their military equipment that they are wearing on as epaulets on their military uniform.
Okay, but this Azov regiment, because it's an allegation that this is a Nazi organization within the Ukraine and it has some support within the military.
Let's really distinguish the nationalistic and other forms of how to say it, and other forms of explanations. So to be nationalist is to be Nazist. Yeah, there is part of the wing within the Azov that call themselves nationalists, but they don't call themselves fascists. And what they're doing now, they're protecting their land, their people on their own territory from invader. Is that what we are calling fascists? That's absolutely, again, we're coming back to the form of Russian propaganda and the way how they are trying to explain these atrocities that they're making in Ukraine. But there is no explanation.
Okay, so just to get you correctly, are you saying that if you defend your territory, you cannot be a Nazi?
No, I didn't say this. I say that the Azov battalion and the part of its members are very strong nationalists. But what they are doing today is that they are protecting the territory of Ukraine and the civil population of Ukraine against of Russian invaders. Do you call this Nazis?
No, definitely. Now I'm just I'm giving you the.
I'm also trying to understand the thinking of Russians. Moreover, I'm trying to understand those who support Russia, how they perceive any organization if it says very soundly and loudly that you are coming to take our lives. You are coming to take our land. We are protecting ourselves. If I'm doing the same here, speaking loudly, am I national? Am I Nazist as well?